Hebrews 11:1 defines faith as the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. This verse sets the foundation for understanding biblical faith, not as blind belief, but as confident trust in God's promises. Faith bridges the gap between the unseen spiritual realm and tangible reality. The chapter, often called the Hall of Faith, showcases heroes who lived by this principle, trusting God despite uncertain outcomes. Their stories illustrate that true faith is active, not passive. Abraham exemplifies faith when he obeys God's call to leave his homeland for an unnamed destination. Hebrews 11:8. Without a map or visible guarantee, he trusted God's promise of a future inheritance. His journey underscores that faith requires action, even when the path is unclear. Later, Abraham's willingness to sacrifice Isaac, Hebrews 11:17-19, reveals his unshaken belief in God's power to resurrect. Proving faith often demands surrendering what we hold dearest. Noah's story, Hebrews 11:7, demonstrates faith amid ridicule. He built an ark based on God's warning of a flood, an event unseen and unimaginable to his contemporaries. His obedience saved humanity, proving faith acts on God's word despite lack of visible evidence. Noah's perseverance for decades without rain teaches that true faith withstands delays and mockery, trusting God's timing over human logic. Moses' faith, Hebrews 11:29, shone when he led Israel through the Red Sea, a seemingly insurmountable barrier. With Pharaoh's army closing in, Moses trusted God's invisible power over visible danger. The parted sea symbolizes how faith transforms impossible situations. This moment also highlights collective faith. The Israelites had to step into the water before it parted, showing faith requires movement even when the miracle isn't yet visible. Rahab, Hebrews 11:31, a Canaanite prostitute, risked her life to hide Israelite spies, trusting their God over her own people. Her scarlet cord, a visible sign of faith, secured her family's salvation when Jericho fell. Rahab's story proves faith transcends background or sin. It's about whose side we choose. Her inclusion in Jesus' lineage, Matthew 1:5, shows God honors bold faith, even in outsiders. David's victory over Goliath, implied in Hebrews 11:32-34, epitomizes faith in God's strength over human limitations. Armed only with a sling, David declared, "The battle is the Lord's," 1 Samuel 17:47. His confidence wasn't in weapons, but in God's unseen power. This story reminds us that faith often confronts giants, literal or metaphorical, with the assurance that God fights for those who trust him. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in Hebrews 11:34 refused to worship idols even under threat of death. Their declaration, "Our God can deliver us, but even if he doesn't," Daniel 3:18, shows faith isn't conditional on deliverance. Their survival in the furnace, with a fourth figure, Christ, proves God's presence in trials. Their story teaches that true faith worships God, not outcomes. Hebrews 11:35-38 honors believers who endured torture, poverty, and death for their faith. Their refusal to renounce Christ, despite lacking visible rescue, highlights faith's eternal perspective. These unnamed heroes remind us that faith isn't about earthly rewards, but heavenly promises. Their endurance under persecution set the foundation for the early church's growth, proving faith's power to outlast oppression. Hebrews 12:2 points to Jesus as faith's ultimate example. His crucifixion and resurrection fulfilled the better resurrection, Hebrews 11:35, promised to believers. Christ's endurance of the cross for the joy set before him shows faith's focus on eternal glory over temporary suffering. His resurrection guarantees that faith in him is never in vain, anchoring our hope in proven victory over death. Hebrews 11's lessons remain vital today. Faith still means trusting God's promises, salvation, provision, and purpose amid life's uncertainties. Like the heroes of old, we're called to act on belief, whether in prayer, generosity, or forgiveness. Modern unseen challenges, anxiety, injustice, or doubt, require the same conviction. God is faithful. Our faith, tested like gold, 1 Peter 1:7, becomes evidence to a watching world.